Good morning, Prairie UU. Good morning to all of our ancestors. Good morning to those who have transitioned from this life into the next, from this physical plane to the spiritual plane, from the here and the now into vivid and faded memories. We are Prairie Unitarian Universalist Church, and we are from Parker, Colorado, and we welcome you all. Welcome and join us. We are a liberal religious light on the prairie. I invite you this morning, you who seek comfort in loss of a loved one, you who celebrate the joy of birth and who mourn death, you who seek to understand pain and healing, you who live in the wake of unbearable loss, and you who celebrate life in all its fullness, as long or as short as it may be. You who come to be comforted in your pain and held in healing. Welcome into the circle of our community. Welcome one and all, from me to you. Welcome to Prairie UU.
Good morning, Prairie friends and guests. Thank you for being with us on this wonderful morning. We're going to start by singing hymn 1024, When the Spirit Says Do. The hymnal says this is an African-American hymn from the Civil Rights period. That's a little unusual description, and when I researched it, I found that the hymn goes a little further back, often with different melody, showing up in different hymnals across different Christian faiths. The version we'll be doing today will be a little bit fun, a little bit serious, and I hope you will enjoy singing it with me. So, as you are willing and able, please let's sing When the Spirit Says Do.
You gotta do when the Spirit says do. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you gotta do. Oh Lord, you gotta do when the Spirit says do. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you gotta sing. Oh Lord, you gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta laugh when the Spirit says laugh. Ha ha ha. You gotta laugh when the Spirit says laugh. Ha! When the Spirit says laugh, you gotta laugh. Oh Lord, you gotta laugh when the Spirit says laugh. You gotta shout when the Spirit says shout. You gotta shout when the Spirit says shout. When the Spirit says shout, you gotta shout. Oh Lord, you gotta shout when the Spirit says shout. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. You gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. When the Spirit says dance, you gotta dance. Oh Lord, you gotta dance when the Spirit says dance. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you gotta do. Oh Lord, you gotta do when the Spirit says do. 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 Spirit says do.
During this month, we focus on healing, and today we focus on our ancestors. During these next few minutes, I invite you to reflect on how our ancestors' lives shape and fill our lives. Today we celebrate the lives of those who have gone before us. We celebrate their lives and listen to their life story as a song. We listen for messages from them to guide us and cause us to reflect like any good piece of music does. We listen for them to move us to tears when we hear them. We listen for them to make us laugh when we think of good times that we share with them. We listen to the stories of their lives as they intersect with us not only in the past, but also in the here and now as life and memory. Let us share in their lives as they move forward and we move forward as good music does. They open our lives to love, sorrow, and celebration. We celebrate with the song of our ancestors. This morning, I will not be sharing a message with you. Instead, we will be sharing together in community, building a virtual altar to our ancestors. I invite you to join us after the public broadcast in Google Meet and come together to share stories of your ancestors. You are invited to share pictures, and we are asking you, if you are so inclined, to share a story about your ancestors that involves song and music or dance. Welcome as you join us and all of our ancestors as we celebrate today.
We can think of no better way than to start our service than sitting with a breathing buddy. If you haven't brought your breathing buddy with you, please take a moment now to get them. Now, I invite you to sit comfortably, spine erect, breathing easily and naturally. Rest your breathing buddy on your chest, and I invite you to face the source of inspiration or to close your eyes. Gently roll your shoulders back, open your chest, release the tension in your body. Lean your neck left and right. Take a deep breath in and out. Our voices are instruments of truth. Our thoughts, our words, are the seeds of tomorrow's reality. Words of kindness connect us to each other and give our goodwill power. Therefore, I offer up today those who are in need of healing because of the death of a loved one and still ask the question why. Those who have lost parents, siblings, partners to illness that could have been prevented, but were denied access to health care. Those who have lost children to violence. Those who have lost loved ones too soon, without warning, and have regret in their hearts for things not said or done. Today we hold those who are in pain, who seek but do not have healing, and suffer with loss. Today we share their pain. We offer ourselves as receptacles of their hurt. We open ourselves as a community to those who come and go from our lives and are in need of healing. We hold them in their pain, not asking them for anything other than to present themselves for us, for our love and support. I invite you now to speak peace and love into the world by speaking of those we hold in our hearts. You who have not found solace and remain in pain as we send positive energy into the world. If you are joining us in Google Meet live on Sunday morning, please unmute yourself and speak a name or any intention that you hold at this time. If you are joining us in any other format or other time of the week, enter your intention into the comments so that as a collective, we may combine healing will with you. I bind not only that which has been named and known to us, but also that which remains unnamed in our hearts of our community, as we welcome the light of this chalice flame.
Our beloved community is not built on a creed, but on a covenant to live together in relationship. Our chalice is a symbol that we are connected with our larger Unitarian Universalist community. We light this flame as a symbol of our covenant to each other and the world around us as we recite our sacred promise. We covenant to be a welcoming and loving community, offering each other fellowship, sanctuary, and a joyful spirit. We seek justice and peace in all our deeds and relationships, and we respect and honor both the individual and the collective search for sacred meaning and truth. We revere and celebrate the diversity of our earth and are guided by the spirit that connects all life as we reach out to offer our best to ourselves, our community, and our world. May the goodwill that we have just offered up be held in our hearts as a sign that we connect and share the words from our mouths, the music in our hearts, and our very silence as we share these next few moments in silence.
Good morning, everybody. Can you remember the last time you got hurt? Maybe you hurt your body, you stubbed your toe, or you fell down, or maybe your feelings got hurt. You didn't get to do something you wanted to do, or you got in an argument with your friends. Our story today is about how Elephant hurt his foot, but it's also a story about how his friends make him feel better and how everybody coming together to make music with Elephant makes everyone feel more happy and connected. During this time of the year, many cultures honor their ancestors who have died. These are some of mine. In this West African fable, it's the animals who give us the gift of the first music that has been passed down to us by our ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, back to the very first people. Music is a powerful way of coming together and healing.
The First Music, written by Dylan Pritchett, illustrated by Aaron Bennett Banks. In the beginning, the African forest had many sounds. Hyena yelped, owl hooted, buffalo groaned, parrot screeched, monkey chittered, crocodile snorted. Only the frogs were silent. Suddenly, a noise like thunder rolled through the air. The animals stopped talking. Hyena peered over the grass. Buffalo raised his head from the stream. Parrot turned her head from side to side, looking for the noisemaker. Monkey leapt from tree to tree, following the sound. He found Elephant rubbing his back foot with his front one. "Who made that loud noise?" Monkey asked. "Me," Elephant moaned. "I stubbed my foot on this hollow log." Elephant started beating the log with his front foot. Other animals began to gather around. "I like that sound," said Elephant. He kept up the beat. Monkey listened to the rhythm. "I feel like moving," he said. Monkey began to sway back and forth. The leaves rustled as the branches rubbed together. Elephant pounded while Monkey danced. Such a pair. Crocodile raised his body out of the water. Crane flew down and perched on Crocodile's back. "Look at Monkey jumping up and down," Crocodile snorted. "It looks like fun. It sounds like fun too," Crane crooned. Crane began rocking back and forth. Crocodile shifted his body. Crane lost her balance and slid. Her sharp claws tinkled over the scales on Crocodile's back. "Hey, that tickles," said Crocodile. Elephant beat on the log. Monkey danced. Crane played Crocodile's scales. Hyena yelped. Owl hooed. Buffalo bellowed. And parrot screeched along in rhythm. The frogs kept silent. Parrot flew over and landed next to them. "Why don't you join in?" she asked. "We have short legs and cannot dance," King Frog replied. "We have short hands and cannot play. There's nothing for us to do but watch and listen." One by one and two by two, more animals gathered. Lioness groaned and moaned. Hawk slapped and flapped his wings. Together they played and swayed and danced and pranced. The frogs remained silent. The animals danced and played the first day while the frogs watched. They pranced and swayed the second day, and the frogs listened. The third, fourth, fifth, and sixth days they danced and played so hard that the earth shook. Except the frogs, who went to their pond to ponder. At dawn on the seventh day, all was quiet. The animals had decided to rest. They returned to their homes. Suddenly, from the pond, a new sound echoed through the forest. "What is that?" Crocodile asked. The animals went to the pond. There, gathered on a stage of lily pads, the frogs sang proudly. "Keep up that beat," Monkey said to King Frog. "I thought frogs could only watch and listen. Someone's arms and legs may be too short to play or dance, but they can use their voices, no matter how different they may sound," said Crane. "I guess everyone has something to add when it comes to making music," King Frog croaked. And that is how the animals learned to make music together. Now, King Frog loves to sing so much you can hear him practicing every morning. At night, he sings again, and every animal in the African forest helps keep the music alive. And oh, how sweet the sound when they perform together.
And now it's time to sing our children out. Don't forget to join us this afternoon at 1 o'clock for our socially distanced Harvest Festival. There'll be a costume parade, pumpkin hunt, piñata, and music at Stonegate Park. Bring your own chairs and sack lunch. See you soon.
Now let's join together in singing our youth out. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace,
peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Merry Sunday. This morning we will be centering on these words from Martin Prechel. Grief is praise of those we have lost. Our own souls who have loved and are now heartbroken would turn to stone and hate us if we did not show such praise when we lose whom we love. A non-fake grieving is how we praise the dead, by praising that which has left us feeling cold and left behind. By the event of our uncontrolled grief, wail, and rap, we are also simultaneously praising with all our hearts the life we have been awarded to live, the life that gave us the health and opportunity of having lived fully enough to love deep enough to feel the loss we now grieve. To not grieve is a violence to the divine in our own hearts, and especially the dead. If we do not grieve what we miss, we are not praising what we love. We are not praising the life we have been given in order to love. If we do not praise whom we miss, we are ourselves in some way dead. So grief and praise makes us alive. Please respond in community together. Our grief is a way of healing, loving, and praising. Grief is praise of those we have lost and keeps them alive within us. Our grief is an honorable way to mourn. Grief is praise of those we have lost and keeps them alive within us. Telling the story of those we have lost is good for our souls. Grief is praise of those we have lost and keeps them alive within us. Our grief is a good way to keep loved ones alive. Grief is praise of those we have lost and keeps them alive within us. Our loved ones are worthy of praise. Grief is praise of those we have lost and keeps them alive within us.
Now let us sing a song that not only honors our ancestors, but it also honors our connection to our ancestors. Let us join together now in singing hymn 1051, We Are.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage and fathers of time. We are daughters of dust and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy and brothers of love. We are lovers of life and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. Each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.
Good morning. Part of being in a community is sharing our resources, our time, our talent, and treasure. There are many ways that we need to be cared for in our community. And I am pleased and thankful for the Committee on Shared Ministry, who provides support and help for many of us. This committee helps us implement our vision, keep our covenant strong, and keep our community in right relations. I'm especially thankful for their partnership with the Board of Trustees as we work together on many projects to keep the church strong and work together. For instance, we've been leading and facilitating discussions around the UUA's Widening the Circle of Concern report that asks churches to be more inclusive and welcoming to people of color. We've led several committee meetings and discussions on this. We hope you'll join us. I'm also very thankful for those of you who've contributed to the We Believe Survivors Fund. This fund was created under the leadership of the Justice League and is there to help victims of sexual abuse fund mental health services or legal fees, etc. So if you know anyone who has this need and have been abused, please let Pastor AJ, the Committee on Shared Ministry, and the chairs of the Justice League know of your need. This may be helpful. I also want to thank you for being a friendly giver to Prairie UU. We can't pass the plate because we're in virtual service, but we still need your contributions. So we hope you will support our congregation. And we are thankful for your gifts because we know they are generously given and gratefully received.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Hi, everybody. Did everybody get a chance to think about their donations this year? I know Dina and Jim just got done doing a homemade lasagna dinner that they delivered to everybody in their auction winners. Jenny, what did you have?
Well, I'd really not like to donate to the auction, but I just don't have any clever ideas about what to do. I'm not sure I could pull off a Zoom dinner or event.
Jenny, I had a great time at my auction offer, which was a box dinner ordered from an Asian restaurant that they delivered, easy for me. And then everybody came and we sat on my outside deck and had a great time with virtual hugs, social distancing, wearing masks, great conversations, good interaction. And we even had an owl come visit us in the tree. So we had a great time. And for me, it was very special to have some time with my prairie friends that I haven't seen in a long time. So I recommend something easy that meets your needs and other people's interest.
Those are good suggestions, Vivian. I went to Claudia's tequila tasting Zoom party, and we had a really great time. But I wonder how hard that was for her to pull it all together.
Jenny, I had so much fun organizing the tequila tasting as a Zoom event and getting out and delivering the supplies for the actual tasting to the auction winners was absolutely delightful. Absolutely, we social distanced, we wore masks, but it was great to see everyone. And I decided that this pandemic auction was a perfect time to free my right brain, let myself go, get creative. And as someone once said, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain.
Okay, that gets me started with some good ideas and the inspiration to try. This year, you can also just make a cash donation. But since Vivian and Claudia had so much fun putting on their events, now I'm enthusiastic to come up with an event myself.
Let's
party
together.
Apart.
Donations are now being accepted. Just go to the Prairie UU website, click on the auction button. It'll take you to all the information in the donation form. Remember, the virtual online auction begins November 7th, and the live virtual gala is on November 14th. Hope to see you all there.
Salud!
Adios.
Bye.
As we prepare to leave this sacred space, may the spirit of our gathering go with us. May we remain mindful that our service does not end here, but continues to live in our hearts. May we go forward with these words from Mark L. Bellatini.
Go in peace, live simply, gently, at home in yourselves.
Act justly, speak justly.
Remember the depth of your own compassion. Forget not your power in the days of your powerlessness.
Do not desire to be wealthier than your peers, and stint not your hand of charity. Practice forbearance.
Speak the truth or speak not.
Take care of yourselves as bodies, for you are a good gift.
Crave peace for all people in the world, beginning with yourselves, and go as you go, with the dream of that peace alive in your heart.
Amen, Amin, Shalom, Salam, Namaste, and blessed be.